All right, the Department of Energy is the latest government agency to go full-on woke by taking race into consideration when awarding grants, saying it, quote, may consider whether a scientist is a minority. Additionally, grant applicants are, quote, required to describe how diversity, equity, and inclusion objectives will be incorporated in the project. Here to react is biotech entrepreneur and author of the forthcoming book, Woke Inc., Vivek Ramaswamy. Vivek, thanks so much for being here. Is this inevitable? If the Biden administration embraces this, it's pushed throughout our government, isn't this exactly what we get?
They're going to one agency after another, Pete. And I come back to the basic idea that the best way to end discrimination on the basis of race is to stop discriminating on the basis of race. Yet this administration seems obsessed with doing the exact opposite, racializing every policy, infusing race consciousness into every aspect of American life. And I'll tell you this, Pete, it's actually unfair, most of all, if I may say, to, for example, black scientists at the Department of Energy, at the NIH, who may have gotten their positions even in absence of affirmative action policies, even on their own merit, who people will unfairly look at differently when these racial preference-based policies are in place. So I think it's bad at every level. It hurts every kind of American, black American, white American, and undermines our culture of excellence at these agencies in favor of this superficial, skin-deep conception of diversity.
And let me ask, it also strikes me as unconstitutional. Is this the kind of thing that can be challenged and will be?
Absolutely. I think that there is a wave of cases surrounding affirmative action coming. Now, you'll remember there was actually a policy for distributing COVID relief to farmers.
Yes.
That was actually race conscious and done on the basis of race. There are already early cases which suggest that that may itself be in violation of the Constitution and in violation of federal law. So I'm proud of people who are stepping up, having the courage to challenge these policies on the basis of being racially discriminatory policies. And I think that many of them are going to be challenged and challenged successfully in court. But when I see this infecting a department like the DOE, when we are at a moment where we have complicated energy policy challenges, the last thing we need to be doing is undermining public trust in the Department of Energy by making us think that politics is actually infecting every way those agencies are run. And I think that's what we're seeing today.
You mentioned sort of race conscience. So could this be the way they're trying to get around that, the fact that they were likely going to be unsuccessful as far as minority farmers? Hey, we may consider, it could be a factor, not, and they use coded language like diversity, equity, and inclusion and diversity plans. Is that how they get around these things?
Absolutely. It's the same way colleges and universities get around it. So after the famous Supreme Court case Bakke, what effectively universities realized that they needed to be able to say, and then Grutter and Bollinger, which followed, was that universities say they now engage in holistic review, where race could just be one of many factors, and that's been at least constitutionally held to be on the correct side of the line. I think that's ripe to be challenged. But I think the Biden administration has been now very careful in crafting what would be quota-based systems in the language of holistic-like review, saying it may be one of many factors. Don't buy it. It is just makeup that is on the face of racial discrimination at its core, and I think that we need to call it out for what it is.
The book is Woke Inc. Vivek Ramaswamy, thank you so much for your insight on this, as always. By the way, we reached out to the Department of Energy for a statement and did not hear back. We'll wait.